Fast start, 4 goals, 3 points for Ipswich Town against Forest Green Rovers. Job done, Stu. That's what we wanted to see.
Yeah, a game Ipswich should be winning, need to be winning, had to win, and win they did, in complete control of this match from the first to the last minute. It was 4 goals, it could have been 5, 6, 7. That was probably the only slight knock on today, that they could have got a few more goals. But Forest Green are in trouble at the bottom of the table, aren't they?
They are, but Ipswich's job was to dispatch them today, and they did that. And we know that fast starts and early goals really help Ipswich Town. That's exactly what they got this afternoon, and it was a really nice one as well, wasn't it? A really changing the pace of play. Nathan Broadhead with a beautiful pass into Connor Chaplin. 1 touch from him in the corner. It's a really, really nice goal. And from then on, I don't think anybody in the stadium really truly believed that was going to end in anything other than a Town win.
No, Chaplin had already tested the goalkeeper before he'd scored, and that was in the 3rd minute when the goal came. They needed that today off the back of a few frustrations and everybody kind of picking the bones out of 4 wins from 15 and Ipswich dropping to 4th and a 0-0 draw at Bristol Rovers. There could have been a little bit of nerves. It could have gone a bit edgy today, but it didn't, because Ipswich scored with 3 minutes on the clock. And from then on, Ipswich, as I said, were in full control. Tested the goalkeeper several times throughout that first half. I turned to you at one point and said, is there any chance that not getting that killer second goal could come back to haunt them? Thankfully it didn't, because Nathan Broadhead made it 2-0 just before half-time.
Yeah, but before then we kind of felt Town were moving the ball a little bit quicker, maybe a bit more direct in what they were doing. But it's ultimately a kind of a broken down set piece that brought the second goal, and that's great to see. It's the strength of Town. This one worked, short one to Cameron Humphreys, who's delivered a really, really nice ball into danger, and Broadhead, from a strange kind of stance, has turned the ball into the back of the net. 2-0 at half-time. It was game over, really, quite frankly. And then it was about, can Town continue this? Can they keep it going? Can they score more? And can they just flex their muscles a little bit against a team they really should be beating? And they did. They kept going throughout. They scored 2 more. And like you say, it could have been 5 or 6, really. Yeah,
Connor Chaplin's 2 goals today takes him on to 17 for the season in all competitions, which is a very impressive tally for someone who doesn't play as an out-and-out striker in this team. Freddie Ladapo stepped off the bench for George Hurst, scored quite nicely in the 79th minute. Ipswich Town fans today celebrating Sir Bobby Robson on what would have been his 90th birthday today. Applause when the clock hit 78 minutes and 81, obviously to mark the FA Cup and UEFA Cup wins in those years. And just as that first set of applause started, Freddie Ladapo scored another set piece, wasn't it? Free kick to the back post. Burgess headed it back across goal, and Ladapo turned in. Nearly repeated the trick in the 81st minute as well. A lovely flowing move that started from the goalkeeper, and Leif Davis's swerving shot from outside the box thumped the woodwork. So that was a nice little moment towards the end of that game that sort of tied in with the Bobby Robson celebrations.
Yeah, obviously a home game with Forest Green isn't quite where Town were at in Bobby Robson's time, but he'd have been proud of that. He'd have been proud of the response from Town from what happened in the week, and the dissection of it since. He'd have been proud of the performers. He'd have been proud of them not letting up. And Ipswich have a wonderful, wonderful history, and to be able to mark that today with such a nice win, a good result, and a really good feeling in the ground was perfect. Forest Green, though, have got their work cut out, haven't they? I think to rescue anything in terms of their League One status.
Ladapo missed that chance at the end. There was one off the line. Hurst had a lob off the crossbar. Several saves from the goalkeeper. It's kind of as we were, really. I think Ipswich. I don't think we can read too much into this. It's about backing it up now, isn't it? Ipswich haven't had back-to-back wins in the league since October. Today is a case of job done. Now they go to MK Dons away, backed by around 7,000 fans. Next Saturday, full week on the training pitch, which will be useful after a couple of long midweek trips to Burnley and to Bristol Rovers. So, they've got to go and back this up now, haven't they? Yeah,
they have, and they'll do that coming off some good individual performances out there today as well. Obviously, 2 goals for Chaplin. We know what he can do when he's presented with chances. He's taken 2 today, taken off before he could get a hat-trick. I'd have backed him to have got it if he'd stayed on. That was really nice from Nathan Broadhead, wasn't it? Here last week, a brilliant free kick, but the all-round performance from him today, just linking things up really nicely, clever work, attacking the box. He looks a threat, and it was really nice to see him kind of in full flow for the hour or so he was on the pitch.
Yeah, Kieran McKenna said it was always going to take a little bit of time to get the 3 January signings fully up to speed. Harry Clark, who'd been in and out of a Stoke side, playing different roles. Nathan Broadhead in and out of a Wigan side that were playing a different brand of football to this, battling at the bottom end of the Championship table. And George Hurst, who hadn't played a great deal of football at Blackburn in the first half of the season. Today, I thought there were signs that all 3 of them took a big step forwards in terms of their fitness, in terms of their link-up play with the rest of the team, in terms of chemistry, all those things. So that was good. I thought Leif Davis looked like the Leif Davis of old today, getting forward, getting lots of crosses into the box. I thought Sam Morsey stepped his game up today in midfield. I think you mentioned there, I thought first half particularly they looked like a more direct team today. There's been a lot of talk this week about maybe being a bit too predictable. They mixed it up a little bit today. The first goal came through a ball through the middle of the pitch. They went long when they needed to at times as well, so maybe showed a few different strings to their bow as a team today.
Yeah, I'd chuck Massimo Luongo in there as well, the 4th January signing. That was his league debut, remarkably, coming towards the end of February. He signed the first week of January, but he added something when he came onto the pitch. I thought Cameron Humphreys looked absolutely exhausted at Rovers on Tuesday night. Credit to him. I think he looked fresh actually during his hour on the pitch. He contributed really well, Cameron did, but when Massimo Luongo came on, he gave them that bit more directness. The ball, he was playing ball through the lines, looking to move through the lines himself with the ball at feet, and kept the ball alive for the 3rd goal as well. So for Town to have a 3rd midfield option in there is going to be really important, and I think a start isn't too far away for him, I would have thought as well.
Yeah, much needed win, job done, going back at Uptown.